I need a road trip. My YouTube channel is failing, life is getting in the way, so the backlog of jobs on the cars keeps building up and getting longer and longer. It's time to get out and have an adventure. Now that my BMW E30 has an MOT, I want to take it on a drive. I want to take it somewhere interesting and relevant, and so I've had an idea. I'm going to use the what 3 words grid, and I'm going to choose 3 words that sum up what this channel's all about, and then we're going to go there. So maybe we can go to Grand Thrift Auto. Let's try that. Grand Thrift Autos, that sort of counts. It's in the Sahara. Maybe one day. How about Lotus Broken Again? Western Australia in the desert. Need to rethink, need to go back to basics. What really captures the essence of this channel? Nobody watch videos, Alaska. But wait, hold on. Nobody watch video. It's in Peterborough. Let's go there. What 3 words is a clever system that divides the whole planet up into 3 metre by 3 metre squares and gives each square a unique name made up of 3 English words. Nobody Watch Video is in the middle of a Tesco distribution centre just off the bypass in Peterborough in Cambridgeshire. I've always wanted a BMW E30 and I finally got this one in 2019. It had been someone's daily driver for the previous couple of years, but it needed some new tyres and a few niggles fixing, which I did, and then I promptly lost the keys for it, so it was off the road for a while until I sorted that out, which I've now done. So this is its first outing of any great distance in at least 3 years. I changed the oil and checked the coolant and all of those things before setting off, because it's about 250 miles each way from my house in South Wales to Nobody Watch Video near Peterborough. It's pretty warm today for Wales. I've got the window cracked open, I've got the sunroof open. It slides or tilts, I've got it tilted. Let's do that up and we've got slightly less blusteriness on the audio. There we go, manual windows and manual sunroof on this car. The fan's got 3 speeds as well as off. It's on 1 at the moment, which gives a little bit of air but not much. 2 and 3 are much better and give you pretty good ventilation actually at motorway speeds even. It makes it a little bit noisy. The gearing is quite tall, so I've just moved up to 70 on this dual carriageway, and I've only just changed up into 5th. 4th is still fairly relaxed at certainly 60 miles an hour and gives you a bit more flexibility for you know, pulling out into the next lane of slightly faster traffic or whatever. 5th is very much a cruising gear and quite a nice relaxed one as well. So I don't find myself in this car, which I sometimes do in older cars, reaching for a 6th gear because 5th gear feels too low on a motorway. This doesn't feel like that. It's quite modern in that feeling, in that respect. You can forget you're in an older car. Emergency road food. I'm not proud of it. It keeps you alive. That's nice. You probably can't see, but I can see in the mirror that behind is what looks like a 1968 Dodge Charger. I'm feeling like Bullet in that car chase, having it looming up in my mirror. He's just trailing me at the moment. We need to get to some San Francisco hills, and then we can lose half a dozen wheel trims each as we chase each other down. That is a magnificent vehicle. Someone's living the dream there. Front garden full of dead Mercedes. Ooh. So we're going up to the E30's nemesis, a slightly greasy roundabout. Are we all going to die a fiery death backwards in a hedge somewhere? Well, no, actually. You do get a bit of a straight 6 roar going on when the revs build up. I've had quite a lot of this on this trip, so fast dual carriageway running and then a bit of a traffic jam, including a couple of quite bad ones on the Heads of the Valleys road coming out of Wales. And the cars cope with that. The temperature gauge, well, the temperature gauge is on sort of, it's varied around the middle third a bit, just depending on how hot it got, but never anywhere near the top of the gauge, and so pretty happy with that. I don't know if you can hear that. You hear that? It still surges at idle. I've diagnosed that as being the air slide valve, which is a sort of idle control. It's a form of idle control valve. The most E30s had an idle control valve that you can replace. These really early ones had a different system, and there's a thing called an air slide valve, which is they're unavailable as replacements, and you can't repair them either. So that basically controls the idle speed. And those go and give you that kind of surging. Other than a little bit of unnecessary revs, it doesn't do any great deal of harm, I don't think. So I'm kind of living with it for the time being. The solution really is to take off the fuel injection engine management system from this and replace it with a Motronic system from a later car, as used on the post facelift ones. I might do that. It's quite a big operation. You can DIY it, or I might look to get somebody to do it, just because I've got lots of other things that need doing on the fleet. I'll have a go with most things. It just might all be a bit easier if I can find someone to farm it out to. If you're that person, let me know, or if you know that person. It's not a sports car quick, but it's executive car quick. The chassis definitely feels like it will take a lot more, and of course it will. There are times when you want to drive a bit quicker with a bit, just get a bit more out of it, and it doesn't quite have that. And for that you'd want the 323i or the 325i. But you get the smoothness with the 320i. Even this one that's nearly 40 years old has a sort of silkiness to it. It's a lovely engine. I can see what all the excitement's about. You've got that combination of the smooth, creamy six-cylinder, and while you haven't got huge performance, it's a very agile car. You don't need to spend that much time going slowly. It's a really good size. It's nice and wieldy, but it doesn't have that kind of pocket roller skate thing that like a hot hatch might, which is fun, but it can be a bit wearing at times when you're on a long journey. I can't believe after hundreds of miles of trouble-free motoring in my E30, I'm now approaching my destination. We're in Peterborough. There's a power station over there. There's an electrical distributors over there, and a used car place, and a VW and Citroen dealer. It's got everything, Peterborough. There's a cathedral as well, but we're not going there. There's a lot of flat landscape over there, some pylons. Well, that makes sense with the power station. Not much point of a power station without any wires going out of it. I'm rambling now, aren't I? I'm just overexcited. Motor mouth. Signs for Leicester and Wisbech and distribution centre. That, I think, is our destination. And there's a big old truck doing distribution. I don't actually want to go into the distribution centre. It would just be way too hard to explain it to the guy on the gate. So we'll go down this side road and see if we can get anywhere close from the side and get a good view. And oh, right, it's literally a road to nowhere. Is that a metaphor? We made it to Nobody Watch Video. It's the actual location, the little square, is somewhere behind me inside that Tesco distribution centre. So if Nobody Watch Video is in the middle of that warehouse behind me, then what square is this? Let's have a look. It's probably something very random and not relevant to the channel at all. Yeah, I was right. While I'm in this part of the country, I think I might as well pop along up the road to the Festival of the Unexceptional, which is on this weekend. So I'll put a link to that down here. So watch that next, and there'll be some more fun and games and some interesting cars. Some people driving by thinking I'm very strange and wondering what the hell's going on.
Can't say I blame them.